the MAB, Muslim Association of Britain. So please put your hands together for Sister Ragad. Sister Ragad, please come forward.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, peace be to you upon you all. My name is Ragad Al-Tikriti and I'm the chair of Muslim Association of Britain. I would like to first thank our fellow organisers and supporters of this protest and thank you all for coming today as we raise our voices against the daily persecution and genocides taking place against Muslims in India today. I am horrified, as you all are, at the scenes of mosques being bulldozed, BJP officials and their street mobs mocking Islam and threatening Muslims with rape, murder and violence. Horrifyingly, these are not just mere threats uttered by officials to scare Muslims into submission, but the reality for many Indian Muslims who have been murdered, raped, tortured, and their homes and businesses violently attacked for the crime of declaring their faith and practicing it. It's clear for everyone to see how Muslim majority states of India have been specifically targeted by the BJP and their communities threatened by national policies and laws which seeks to criminalize Muslims. In Uttar Pradesh, police have been firing indiscriminately into crowds, beating Muslim bystanders in the streets, raiding and looting Muslim homes while shouting Islamophobic slurs and Hindu nationalist slogans, detaining and torturing Muslim children with orders coming from the very top of the state. In the northern Haryana state, a Muslim Indian woman, which you've heard about, and her 14-year-old cousin were gang raped, and 2 of their relatives were beaten to death after being accused of eating beef. In Lakshadweep, a 93% of Muslim population island off the south coast of India, the past year has seen the passing of many laws, from bans on beef to its introduction of alcohol licenses that are designed to intimidate Muslims and lay the groundwork for them to be attacked with complete impunity from the government and the courts. At the beginning of 2022, schoolgirls in Karnataka in the south of India were banned from wearing the hijab. For months, they were subjected to attacks by mobs and have been banned from entering schools unless they remove their hijab, as you've heard. We also saw recently, in the case of Afreen Fatima, a young Muslim activist whose house was bulldozed by the authorities in the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh in an act of vendetta by the government for the protest over comments made against the Prophet Muhammad by officials in the BJP. What is happening in India today has all the hallmarks of a brutal genocide. The respected organization, Restless Beings, who have served the Rohingya community for many years, issued an early genocide warning in India against Muslims earlier this year. This was after comments by the Home Minister in the BJP, Amit Shah, who described Muslim refugees in India as infiltrators who are eating the country like termites. As Rahima Begum, one of the co-founders of Restless Beings, put it, the insightful language that compares humans to insects and pests is a worrying hallmark of most cases of genocide. In Rwanda, Tutsis were labeled as cockroaches during the genocide, and during the war in Bosnia, Muslims were called genetically deformed by Serb forces who inflicted genocide on them. The central government of India adopting the same dehumanizing language should alarm us all, because history tells us what this language leads to. And sadly, what we have seen here in the UK is our own government enabling India in its attacks against Muslims. Boris Johnson recently referred to Modi as his special friend. Shame, shame. Trade continues with India. Unabated BJP officials are given the red carpet on visits to the UK. India is being allowed to continue on this dangerous path of violence, populism and fascism, while the world turns a blind eye. Well, we are all here standing to tell the British and Indian governments that we will not look away, we will not stand by, and we will not remain silent as our brothers and sisters are attacked and murdered. Not now, not ever. Finally, moving forward, I urge you, if you haven't already, to request a meeting with your local MP to raise the issue of persecution of Muslims in India. If you're a university student, organize events and protests on your campus to raise awareness about the atrocities taking place in India against Muslims. If you're a faith leader, then raise the issue in sermons in your mosques, church, temple or synagogue. If you're a journalist, press UK officials on their close relationship with BJP officials who are inciting hatred against Muslims every single day. We all have a role to play to stop this genocide in its tracks. We will continue to ask for justice wherever injustice is committed. We will continue to be the voice of the voiceless, especially in places where the tyrants are welcome and not held accountable for the crimes they commit in their countries. These crimes would be considered brutal crimes in the UK, and they would be treated as criminals. Indian Muslims deserve the same treatment as the rest of us. Everyone claims that they want peace. Well, let us say it loud and clear. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah. Thank you, Sister Ragad, for, I think you might have taken it. Anyway, so,
that was Sister Ragad Takriti, Muslim Association of Britain. She gave lots of good practical advice, talking about the dehumanization and genocide, examples of Rwanda, examples of Serbia and Bosnia, and it's really important to spot these things before they turn into more and more violent kind of genocides to end life. Sheikh Uthman Latif, he has lots of literature on this, on empathy and conflict and dehumanization and othering. Also comes to mind, looking at these statues of probably lots of evil people. I haven't looked at the nameplates, but lots of these people, lots of the problems that we see today are a direct result of, colonial policies and imperialism in former colonies, where, looking at Rwanda, Tutsis and Hutus, the Belgians, for example, coming in and divide and conquer, divide and rule. And I remember Adnan Rashid saying Hinduism itself, per se, as one coherent kind of narrative, was created by the British. When they came in, it was a whole hundreds, if not thousands, of different kind of religions and objects that were worshipped, and they kind of lumped it together to create a coherent narrative, as the historians say, to help actually oppose Muslims and marginalize Muslims and create strife and disunity among the people, by making camps, by making tribes and so forth. My father used to tell me, because he was born in occupied British Raj, British India. So say, and even uncles like elders, their stories are very valuable for us. They would say that, for example, the British would throw a cow's head into a Hindu temple and throw a pig's head into a mosque, to continue to perpetuate strife and violence because, you know, they will think, oh, the Hindus did it, or they will think the Muslims did it. And it's this legacy that we see continuing today, and that's why borders are drawn, for example, as they are, to maximize disunity, strife, civil war, to stop these former colonies. This is a kind of out of the European colonial playbook, to stop the colonies getting stronger, fortifying their ranks and becoming a threat to the former colonizers. So a lot of these things we're seeing in today's day and age is just a relic, of European colonialism, unfortunately, coloniality. But that's why it's important for people to, I suppose, unite, cooperate with one another, form alliances, for البر والتقوى وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان, to speaking and condemning, speaking out against these injustices. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it in these first 10 days. Let's see some brothers and sisters, mashallah, that we recognize, mashallah, doing this. May Allah count it as, striving for his case, for his cause, in these first 10 days of Al-Hijjah. I have no idea whether you can hear me or not, by the way, but I'll stop it there. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Muhammad and Prophet Abraham and all the prophets that have come before him. Where would this gathering be? Have a guy with a turban and speaking to you. Where would this gathering be? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَيَسُبُّوا اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'm going to translate it into Yorkshire language here. I'm from Yorkshire, he says. I'm going to translate it into Yorkshire lingo. He says, don't speak against those people who they are worshipping their own God, because they may swear against your God, your prophet, because they do not have knowledge of it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very clear. Don't do anything, don't swear against any other prophet, don't swear against anybody. If he's worshipping a shivling, that's his business or her business. We do not swear against them. And we said why? Because they do not know who Muhammad is, and they do not know who Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, and they do not know who Allah is. So you see,